Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kathie J Show. I'm so sorry my microphone popped off. It doesn't like the gold jewelry right here. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Kathie J Show. How are you? I hope you're having a good day so far. I am. I've been listening to music and enjoying my morning so far. So I have to give a big thanks to everybody out there who's been staying connected with us on social media. Like all of you out there that have been listening to me and subscribing to our YouTube page, thank you. And I also want to say at KathieJShow.com, that's our website, you can find all of our past episodes as well as a place to send viewer emails to us because we love hearing your ideas about shows that you want to see because this is our show together, okay, everybody? So speaking of that, today's show is from a viewer that wanted to see us talk about her topic. So today, I'm going to talk to you about something that you may or may not know about. I didn't know about. It's called Williams syndrome. May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month. So for those that don't know, it's a developmental disorder. It affects many parts of the body due to a genetic condition, and it's genes on a chromosome. We all know how that is, the thread, everybody. So it happens in about 1 out of every 10,000 births. That's what you need to know. There's a lot of people out there that have this. May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, so let's bring awareness, everybody. This is Mom Jennifer Keaton. She's a member of the Rocky Mountain region for the Williams Syndrome Association, and this is beautiful Stella. Welcome to the show, Stella. Yay! Jennifer, thank you so much for contacting us, and thank you so much. I'm so eager to learn about this because kids with Williams syndrome are complete joys. They are. On the outside, like it's just beautiful. You guys, all of these kids are amazing. Happy, smiling, empathetic, having fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about, you didn't even know about Williams syndrome. Tell me the story of Stella.
I didn't. So Stella's our first child. And so I didn't know what I didn't know, as you know.
Right.
Like
I didn't even know how to feed him.
No, huge learning curve. And we definitely had some things when normal pregnancy for the most part, normal birth, normal kind of everything. We had just a few things that were popping up as she was growing and developing.
Like what?
She's small for just a stational age. She wasn't a very good eater, super fussy, just a real small bean. Some delays.
You said small bean?
Yeah, small bean.
Every little baby gets called a little bean. They're so cute.
But they're like, this one's like real small.
She was a really small bean.
Real small.
So how old is she in that photo?
She is 5. That was when she was diagnosed.
That is small for 5.
Yep, she was very small.
And beautiful.
Thank you.
Is that you? That's you.
I got a pumpkin in my hand.
You do have a pumpkin in your hand.
Oh.
So basically what happened was we were kind of cruising along. We knew some things were wrong, but we didn't really know what they were. And at 5 years old in her preschool class, she was in preschool for 2 years. We held her back and kept her for a 3rd year. That 3rd year, we had a new preschool teacher. And at parent-teacher conference, that teacher said, "Your daughter reminds me of a little girl I used to teach who has Williams syndrome." And I left the conference and I went to my phone and I pulled it up on the search bar. And the minute that I saw these kids and the things that are associated with Williams syndrome, I knew.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps because as a parent, there's things I've Googled and as soon as it's come up, I'm like, yes, that's exactly my child.
Yep.
Yeah.
So just imagine a lot of little things happening along the way, but not really knowing that they fell under one umbrella and then realizing that was.
But she'd been going to a pediatrician.
Yep.
So the pediatrician didn't, they didn't, a teacher recognize it. Okay.
It's honestly so rare that unless you've met somebody with Williams syndrome or you've interacted in the community in some way, you would not know. And so that's her story.
All right, well, when we come back, I'm going to ask you more questions about Williams syndrome, and I'm going to ask you some questions too, Stella. We'll be right back, everybody. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. So this is Jennifer Keaton, yay, and her daughter Stella, and they're here to raise awareness about Williams syndrome because May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, and I didn't know about Williams syndrome. You said you didn't. The doctors at Children's Hospital really didn't until you brought it the information from a teacher.
Yep.
So what are the signs then of Williams syndrome?
So like you were mentioning earlier, Williams syndrome is a genetic deletion, and it's a very small deletion.
So all it is when the chromosomes are being built, when the thread is happening and the DNA is going into the chromosomes,
Yep.
somewhere in there it just didn't get filled all the way,
Yep.
right?
It's just like a little blip.
And it's not genetic. It's just something happened when the cells were forming.
Yep, it's called a de novo event,
Okay.
Which means that it kind of happens spontaneously.
Okay.
So now that Stella has it, she has a 50% chance of passing it along to her children.
Okay.
But it is not something that we had genetically through my husband or I.
Right, exactly, right. Because I think that's important for everyone
Yeah.
to know. I mean, 1 in 10,000 children get this.
Yeah.
Okay, so the outside, it's very happy, very
Yes.
emotional, very empathetic.
Yes.
But the inside, there's a downside to Williams syndrome.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
let's talk about that.
Yeah. So the main marker of Williams syndrome is elastin, a missing copy of the elastin gene.
Okay.
And elastin, just in a very non-medical way, it's what gives your body laxity, right? And it's very important in your cardiovascular system as it relates to your arteries and your blood vessels.
You mean it helps things move
Yes,
and breathe
exactly,
and everything,
exactly.
right? Okay.
And when you're missing part of your elastin,
Things
it's a little floppy,
Right,
right?
okay, yeah, totally.
And so that can create challenges, mostly cardiovascularly, gastrointestinally as well. But many of our kids, about 75% of them, have what's called a congenital heart defect of some sort. Many of them do require interventions and surgeries to support that.
Yes.
So
What is this photo right here?
where does that photo, Stell? Where were you at?
The doctor.
You were at the doctor.
You were at the doctor's? Was this a certain appointment, Stella?
What do you get checked every year?
Your pretty heart.
Yeah.
You know what, Stella? I get my heart checked every year too. We got a lot in common. We got special hearts.
Yeah.
So what else, as a parent though, what else do you have to be concerned about then? So obviously a lot more doctor's appointments.
A lot more doctor's appointments. So blood pressure and just making sure that we're managing that. So Stella at age 11 already has high blood pressure and is on blood pressure medication to support that.
Because of the heart.
Yep.
Okay.
And so because we're missing elastin, what's going to happen is your body almost ages faster than the typical population. So we just need all those things that you worry about when you get to be our age, right?
Yeah, right.
As it relates to getting older. Gotta be careful of.
This is such a good chart that you brought us. This is the things that, I mean, everyone, this is what moms are dealing with, parents are dealing with of children that have Williams syndrome. That's what the child is going through, correct?
Yep, absolutely, yeah. So anxiety is a main component
Worse
of it.
than normal kids' anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I have, it's genetically, it's coming down the tree,
right, you
but
already
then
got
you
that.
get that as well. ADHD, same.
Yes, right.
There can be learning disabilities.
When you found out what it was, did you find that there was a good support group here? Or is it something because no one talks about there really wasn't anywhere to go?
Well, there is something called the Williams Syndrome Association, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
You're part of it, yeah.
Yes. And it's a wonderful resource. So much so that when we were diagnosed and we went into our genetics meeting to get the official Williams Syndrome diagnosis, they said, here is everything from the Williams Syndrome Association. So genetics in themselves only know really the scientific components
right,
of
not
Williams
really
syndrome.
the living with it.
They don't know how to live day to day.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, so we're going to take a quick break. Thanks, Jennifer and Stella.
you're
When we
welcome.
come back, we got more members of the Williams Syndrome community that are going to be right here on the couch. We'll be back. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So this whole half hour, we're talking about Williams syndrome. May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month. There's about 20 to 30,000 people in the United States living with Williams syndrome. Everybody, I've been hanging out with Jennifer down there on the end of the couch. Yay! And this is her cute, beautiful daughter, Stella, wanting to hang out with me. And then now we have Mom Colleen Kilcullen, who is also a member of the Rocky Mountain region for the Williams syndrome, and Son Bridger. Yay! Thanks for being here, Colleen and Bridger.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so let's hear about you guys. Tell us your story, Colleen.
Yeah,
Yes.
so our story is a little bit different than Stella's. We actually knew very early on that Bridger had Williams syndrome.
What is early on?
Well,
Because developmental stages, you don't know anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So a few days in?
A few days in. So when he was born, they detected a heart murmur.
Okay.
He needed a little bit of oxygen after birth. So they sent us pretty quickly to a cardiologist at Children's. And he had an echocardiogram, which showed a couple of cardiac defects, which are very typical for Williams syndrome. So the cardiologist said, Bridger has these cardiac defects. I think he has a condition called Williams syndrome.
Is there a blood test, Jennifer? I'm sorry, that confirms it? Okay, all right, because the genetics and the, okay. Yes. All right, keep going, Colleen. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Okay.
So, so we, even though she told us not to, we went home and Googled Williams syndrome and recognized that he did have, the facial features that are common, and he had, some other signs that were typical to Williams syndrome.
Okay.
So
but the first thing you had to deal with was the heart.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So how did the heart develop as he was developing?
Yeah. So they watched him very closely through his first few months, and he ended up, his heart defects were progressing. So he did have open heart surgery when he was about 4 months old at Children's Hospital to correct those defects.
I just have to say, Colleen, we were talking in commercial break. My child was at Children's really young. As a parent, to watch your kid go through that, especially 4 months old, is a little baby that can't be held. And that's got it. Everything that parents live with, you guys all have gone through heartbreaking moments in the hospitals.
Yeah. One interesting thing about Williams syndrome is that people with Williams syndrome have a 25 to 100% times more risk of effects under anesthesia. And
okay, 25 to 100 is a big window.
Yep.
So something could go wrong.
Yes,
really high rate.
And a lot of times it does go wrong. And so any procedures that our kids have, like going to the dentist and getting a cavity filled, that all has to be done under the supervision of a cardiac team of anesthesiologists. So can you imagine 4 months old, knowing that you have need an open heart surgery and having this significant risk of anesthesia?
Oh, it's terrifying as a mom. Like it's got to be. Yes, right. Okay, and so did you? Is that where you met Jennifer? Were you already in?
I was not till 5.
Not yet. Oh yeah, because he's older. Okay, so
so
you have the open heart surgery and it's a success.
Right.
And then and Bridger develops normal through Williams syndrome.
Yeah. He has a lot of the typical features of Williams syndrome. Some learning delays. He has
He's very expressive. I'm digging it. So I got to ask you some questions, Bridger. First off, okay, what kind of music you like?
I like rock.
Rock.
Yeah, kind of.
I want to rock. Hey, I want everybody to know that I asked Stella that too. And who are you listening to right now? Mom's got her chilling with Busta Rhymes. So Busta. I love that. But rock is good too. Okay, so and what do you like to do? What kind of things?
I like to be funny, weird.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
There could be a career for you. 11 years old. You're 11 years old. So what grade are you going into?
6th.
6th grade? Yeah. Okay. And tell me about school for kids with Williams syndrome.
It's.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bridger. Go for it.
Go for it, buddy.
It's fine.
Tell me. Okay. Yes, but are you in all the classes with all the other kids, or do you have a special aide that walks with you? How does that work?
So Bridger's in the regular 5th grade classroom for about 80% of his day, and then he does get some extra support from a special education teacher.
Okay, but it's public school, right? That your kids all go to public school. Okay, and then you just some kids though might require an aide longer. Is that right, moms? Everyone's different on the.
Right.
Everyone's different, and every school district is different.
Really?
So some of our kids with Williams syndrome are not included in the general ed classroom, which is an absolute shame because these kids they're so bright.
Right.
And they're so social.
I tell you what, all you educators out there that aren't including kids with Williams syndrome in the normal population, they brighten the day. Like they brightened me to the point where I brightened Channel 7 when I talked to the anchors. Like you should have these kids around sharing the light for sure. Yeah. Okay, so the school districts that do, thank goodness you're in them. Do you feel support at your school?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good.
She does. You wanted to say shout out, tell your friends, right?
Are we shouting out friends?
Yeah.
Who are they?
What school do you go to?
Lefty.
Which one?
Bethke.
Bethke? Yeah. Oh, all right. And shout out to everybody at Bethke. Yay. And which school do you go to, Bridger?
Blue Mountain.
Blue Mountain. So Jennifer and Colleen,
Yeah.
why is this important for you to get this word out? I mean, it's obvious, but I want to hear from the moms that live it.
Go for it, girlfriend.
Yeah, I think just, recognition. It is something that's relatively rare, and in, Stella's case, it's not always picked up until the child is older. I think it's really beneficial to be diagnosed early on and to get these kids the support that they need.
Right.
Not only support medically or in school, but in the community, right? We're social people. We want to be included. We want to be treated like our peers. And we want to continue the advancements for Williams syndrome because these kids are living extraordinary lives now that there's resources and support for them. And we just want to continue to see that grow.
And we're going to continue to talk about making it grow. So when we come back, everybody, we're going to tell you how you can support these fine parents, these fine kids in the Williams Syndrome Association. We'll be back. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. We are talking today about Williams syndrome, and I want to introduce you to a lot of awesome people, everybody. This is Stella, yay! This is Bridger, Mom Colleen, Mom Jennifer of Stella, and now we have Zane and Bentley joining us as well. Hi! Their moms are behind the scenes. They'll be with us on a Facebook Live right after the show today, so be sure to go to my social media and check that out. So thank you for being here. So,
thank you.
I want to know, Jennifer, we're talking about Williams syndrome. You said you need donations. I mean,
we do.
Yes. Okay. Explain why. And you guys, you're one of the least funded ones out there.
Yep, we
Okay.
are. Actually, because the Williams syndrome is so rare, it's not federally funded, which means that in order to provide resources and the medical research that we need as a community in order to advance the life and the success of people living with Williams syndrome, it all relies on public
donations.
Funding.
Yeah.
It's all public. It doesn't come from anywhere else. And so in our community, we band together. We have a walk coming up in July, and that's where 75% of our funding comes from is through awareness walks that are held throughout the country. So we are looking for money donations. Yes. We are also looking for items like for silent auction or food because we have a lot of people to feed who are all everybody likes food.
Yeah, there you go,
Hungry.
Bentley. I'm with you, Zane.
So
yeah, right.
much food.
I love food.
You should have been here yesterday. We had burgers.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up.
I love pancakes.
I love pancakes too, Zane. Jennifer, I love that you were when you were talking about the kids with Williams syndrome. There is so much that makes them all connected because it's a genetic issue. The body types can be the same. They all have star flecks in their pupils, and if you look up close, it's beautiful. And they also love music and they love instruments. It's very important. Talk about that, the instruments.
Yeah. So when we were diagnosed at Children's Hospital and we met with the geneticist. The geneticist, I said, I have all these questions for you, like genetically about the body. She said, I can't answer any of those, but what I can tell you is that you need to put an instrument in her hand as soon as possible.
Really?
Because people with Williams syndrome tend to have such a high preference to music, and it's such an impactful part of their life and their experience that it just becomes a part of who they are. And I certainly seen that with Stella. It's what we use in her learning.
Trust me, that's my favorite sign, but you can't do it right now.
We use music a lot to teach, so like to help her learn her address, we use music. We use music to remember like times tables and things like that. And it's just...
Do you use music too, Colleen?
Yeah,
you do.
definitely.
So do moms you use music all the time too? You do. Music is so important. Before we leave, Stella did put on makeup and painted her nails today, so I wanted you to be able to show everybody, Stella. Very nice. So Jennifer, you are part of the Rocky Mountain region for Williams syndrome.
Yes.
So tell everybody, I mean, what do you do? I mean, let's let everybody know, because obviously you're the force that's pushing it now, I feel.
We are. So Williams Syndrome Association was started 40 years ago by a group of parents just like us, saying like there's got to be more for our kids, and that's what we do still to this day. We raise awareness for our kids, for inclusion in gen ed school, and for the supports that they need because they do learn differently than maybe other disabilities.
So that's why I would say the money is to help raise awareness in the schools. You said there's some schools that still don't recognize it the right way. The money is for research. The money is to maybe give moms some stress relief, caregivers.
No.
Nothing for caregivers.
No, nothing for caregivers. But we do get to go to camp, and camp is really fun, Williams Syndrome Camp, where we get to connect with our friends and our family who are living with the condition, and it's the best experience. And there's a lot of families that have Williams Syndrome that can't afford those things. So as a community, being able to rise together collectively and provide them with the resources and the support and the arms that they need is just so important to us. So we all didn't choose this journey. The journey chose us, but it's an absolute for us journey for sure.
Awesome. Well, I want to remind all of you to take care of yourself too. Self-care for moms. Everybody out there, for more information about Williams Syndrome, and dads out there, or to make a donation, head to williams-syndrome.org. You can also find more information about the July 30th fundraiser happening in Thornton. Email Jennifer, jenmkeaton@gmail.com. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.